Okay, this is a quick overview of the Calypso relay firing card. We'll just go over the various connections. Down at the bottom, the yellow Dinkle connection, spring-loaded connector, is the 24 volt DC input. It is not polarity sensitive, so it does not matter which is positive or negative. The red, black, green connection is our RS45 panel-to-panel connection. The RJ45 connectors here at the bottom and at the top are the same. This would be coming from the panel. So when you come from the controller into this port, it supplies both the power and the communications through the RJ45 connection. They're all one and the same, and these are typically used as you would come from your panel or your Nexus controller into the top or bottom of your first relay firing card, and then you would come out of the bottom remaining port into the top or bottom of your next relay firing card, and so on. You would just use these to daisy chain your panels or relay firing cards together. If you're not using the RJ45 connectors, then you would just wire from your spring-loaded Dinkle connections from the controller into your first one, and then daisy chain to your next relay firing card. And the next ports would be the 4 relay ports here on the right side, and these are used to connect the WCR relays into the firing card, and it just uses a standard Cat5 RJ45 patch cable to connect them. The WCR relays, everything is DIN rail mounted, so it just has a spring-loaded DIN rail clip to put it onto the DIN rail, so it just twists on to attach it to your DIN rail, and then use your RJ45 patch cables to connect each one to the relay firing card. And that portion is wired up. The next I'll go over here is there's options dip switches and address dip switches. The address works like all of our other addressing dip switches. Each dip switch has a value. You can see on here the values are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. So when a dip switch is up, it means that it's using that current value. So address 1, you would turn on dip switch number 1. For address 2, you would turn on just dip switch number 2. If you wanted address 3, then you would turn on dip switches 1 and 2. If you wanted an address number, say address 9, you would turn on address 4 and dip switch number 1 added together. 8 and 1 give you address number 9, and so on. So your address is a total of the values added up across your address dip switches. The only option dip switch we use on here from the factory, dip switches 2 and 3 will be on, so you won't mess with any of the previous options. The only option you'll use is the option G, which is dip switch number 7. This is used to reverse the order of the relays. So with it in the off position, your relays would be numbered starting up here from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you turn on dip switch number 7, then it reverses the order. So now this becomes relay number 1. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it just allows you to number your relays from either top to bottom in your panel, depending on how you'd like that to be ordered. And that covers pretty much everything on the Calypso relay firing card.